Hello everybody. I hope you can see us. I'm here in Casa Seat in Barcelona, next to Wayne Griffiths. And I started to see you all. Hello, hello everybody. We are from all around Europe. We are from east to west, north to south. We have Sweden down to Italy. We have Spain down to, I guess, where is it? It's Oleg from Ukraine. But of course, all the countries, Austria, Turkey, Luxembourg, Spain, UK, Greece, as I said, Sweden, Czech Republic, Macedonia, Cyprus, Germany, oh, even Russia. Hello, hello, it's great to see you, Piotr. Then, as I said, Ukraine, who else? It's, yeah, we are a lot of people. Gabor from Hungary, and yep. Casa Seat, you know, it's something unique here in Barcelona. And it's a very special place dedicated to the Cupra and Seat brands in a very unique way. We will have probably a chance to talk about that later on. I'm happy to be next to Wayne Griffiths, which is the CEO and the CEO of both brands, Seat and Cupra. It is a great pleasure to tell you that Wayne, it's a kind of breed. It's a kind of special person and personality. Don't try to find another Wayne in the car industry because he is unique. Wayne, please tell us more about the Seat and Cupra.
Well, Dan, thank you for being here in Casa Seat in the middle of Barcelona. We're lucky to be here in this fantastic city. Down behind us here, the Paseo de Gracia, Diagonal, and I think you sense the optimism when you're in the city. Things are starting to reopen in town again. The people are becoming more optimistic. The vaccines are arriving. The sun is shining here. The sun shines here almost every day. So it's great to have you in our Casa Seat here. Casa Seat,
thank you very much, I appreciate it.
The home of our company, the home of our brands, both Seat and Cupra. And I think I hope you've had the chance to walk around, you see how well they fit together in this fantastic place, connected with this city, Barcelona. So it's great to have you here, and thank you all the AUTOBEST jury members. Obviously, thank you for voting the Seat Leon for the best car of the year. Something that we had a huge celebration about, and we were very proud of. Casa Seat is a home of Seat as an organization. Seat is a company with two brands, with two consumer brands, Seat and Cupra. I think two brands that are very well defined and have a clear objective, each one of them. I start with Seat first. I mean, the car that we won the prize for, the Seat Leon, I think. And I've been at Seat now for 5 years. My motivation to come back to Barcelona was to come to work for Seat. So when I came to Seat, Cupra was not even on the list as what we were going to do. I came here to help contribute to making Seat a successful brand back then with Luca Di Meo. Luca asked me to come and join him 5 years ago, almost now. Time has flown. And when I started, Seat was just starting to turn around then. We were just launching the Ateca, the Seat Ateca, so our first SUV. And I think that really marked a change in the whole history of what was happening at Seat. Cupra, initially as a sub-brand of Seat, so Seat Leon Cupra. Mm-hmm. And then we said, okay, if we want to make a step forward, we have to bring this brand up at its own level. We were very ambitious. We were promising a lot. We were going to create a new brand that was going to disrupt the industry based on design, cool design and performance. A brand inspiring the world from Barcelona, using the roots of this fantastic city. Cupra last year was one of the only brands, I think, that even in a closed down COVID European environment maintained a strong double-digit growth rate. So we were the brand that grew the most in terms of percentage last year. And then obviously we had our big success with the Cupra Formentor. Cupra Formentor, the game changer.
Only for Cupra.
The first 100% developed and designed car with, I think, there's a car that reflects the essence of what Cupra is about and stands for. It's the Cupra Formentor. a fantastic design, very sensual design, provocative. At Cupra, we say we don't want to do cars that people necessarily like. Not everybody needs to like our cars, but that some people love. The next one we're looking forward to is our first electric Cupra. First 100% electric car from Cupra, the Cupra Born, named after this neighborhood just down the road from here in Barcelona, the very bohemian neighborhood where all the bars are here, El Born Viertel, the El Born Quarter. And that's what inspired the name of the car. So with that to look forward to, that will be a big step forward. But electrification doesn't stop with the Born. We at Cupra say we are believers, the Cupra tribe. Big dreams begin with a few believers. And if you can believe in something, and even as big and as crazy the dream can be, back then you can at some point create it.
Correct.
The big news here in Spain, it's a huge project, not just for Seat, but for the whole country. It's electrifying Spain. Seat was the brand that put this country on wheels 70 years ago with an affordable Seat car that allowed the masses access to mobility. And now 70 years later, we want to put Spain on electric wheels. Then you need an affordable, accessible electric car for the masses. You need to democratize electromobility for the masses.
Correct.
And that is what the small urban electric vehicle should do for the Volkswagen Group and the Volkswagen Group brands.
Did you already agreed when this project is becoming alive, like 2023, 4, 5?
The idea is
the
around 2025 that we need to be ready by then. We think by then the electric market will have grown to a level that would make a car like that sustainable, because we're talking about a car the size of the Seat Arona today. So a car in the A0 segment.
For instance, for Seat, what does it mean an affordable price?
So I think we need to be talking between 20,000-25,000 entry level.
That's a key strategy for Europe, not only for Volkswagen Group, because what is missing, we all know that batteries are not here.
The Volkswagen Group has a strategy for batteries. It's done at group level. So there's an organization at the Volkswagen Group level looking at establishing 6 battery electric factories around Europe that we think will be necessary for the volumes that will then become in the market. So that's the level of industrialization that we believe necessary. The Volkswagen Group wants to be part of that, and having discussions with partners at the moment where those factories should be. There's a lot of speculation and a lot of desire for them to be, obviously from our point of view as a Spanish brand in Spain, we would love to have the battery cell factory in Spain. Make a lot of sense if we're going to build battery electric vehicles here in Spain. But those decisions are still to be made, and at the end of the day, that will be made in where is the most competitive place to do that. But there is a need for battery cell factories in Europe. And it's something that the Volkswagen Group wants to be involved in. The Spanish government as well would like to have a stake in that. Then obviously you need suppliers and energy companies who can provide the clean energy to do those batteries. So there's a lot of people involved, a lot of discussions going on. I hope those discussions come to a fruition as soon as possible towards the end of this year.
That's the question. When might be a realistically speaking come for real?
I think a decision needs to be taken during this year, ideally, to keep in line with to make sure that the number of batteries will be available for the production when we start producing cars. One of the most exciting things I've been involved in. Like I said, I mean, my personal motivations is being part of this electrifying Spain, so moving and transforming this company in a very short period of time from building electric cars to building combustion cars to electric cars. And also this transformation or this establishment of a new brand, moving Seat from a company that was positioned below Volkswagen to a company that also has a brand, Cupra, positioned between the mass segment and the premium segment. And
here in Spain, mainly, there is this, from my perspective, stupid discussion that actually you are building Cupra that eventually one day Seat will disappear. Please state it clearly, what is the reality in the next 10, 20, whatever years?
I mean, we've just invested €1 billion in a new Leon that was voted the best car. So obviously we are still betting on Seat, and Seat makes a lot of sense, and Seat has proved that it can become the fastest growing brand in Europe, bringing new customers for the Volkswagen Group. What will happen in 10 years' time in the whole disruption of the car industry, which brands go in which direction, and how fast the electrification will impact, that we will see. But all I can see that Cupra will become stronger within our range as time goes on. It already is doing with the step with the Formentor. But I think what's good for Cupra is good for Seat, and what's good for Seat is good for Cupra. And I think we're proving with Seat that we have a real, perhaps in a future world where particularly the younger generation doesn't want to own cars and wants to have mobility, that Seat could fulfill that role of making that mobility available for the next generation, and not necessarily being another consumer car brand, but actually providing mobility with cars. Obviously you need cars as well, but cars, but with individual mobility and with everything that Seat's more doing. So I see a good future for the foreseeable future for both brands.
Okay, great. Now let's go for questions. Let's go to Sweden. So Håkan, please.
Yes, hello Wayne. First of all, I would like to congratulate you on the award that you received. I was one of the guys that was voting for the CSBO.
Thank you.
I also had locally here in Sweden, I'm in the jury groups here, and I've been also voting for the Leon as my favorite. What is kind of interesting here is I'm going back a few years in time here, and I think that every time I've been driving a Seat product with the same drive line as for instance the Golf, I always found the Seat a more fun, agile car to drive than the Volkswagen. So one of my questions is how do you accomplish that? My second question is that in Frankfurt 2019, I saw the Seat Elborn at the same time as Volkswagen introduced the ID.3. In my opinion, when I looked at the Elborn, I felt like this is so much nicer car. It's so much cooler looking, and I was actually hoping that something would happen much earlier with that car. But then you changed over from having it under the Seat brand to the Cupra brand. Is that the reason why it's so delayed compared to what the original plans were?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so the first general statement before I get into the trap of comparing our cars with Volkswagen is to make a clear statement that our competitor is not Volkswagen. So our competitors are outside of the group, and Seat's role and Cupra's role is to attract and conquest new customers to the Volkswagen Group, that the Volkswagen brand or a Skoda brand or another brand or Audi. I had the question before, Cupra and Audi. We have a clear position for our brands that is we focus on the competition outside. So we focus on the French, the Koreans, the Japanese, and I think that we've been able to do that with Seat. And you're right, one of the positioning elements of Seat, particularly the previous Leon, but also the current Leon, is not only the design, which is one of the big reasons we win, but also the way the car feels, the way the car drives. And how do we achieve that? Is obviously with the suspension, the driving dynamics, the setup. And we have the opportunity, although we use a lot of joint components, the way we engineer the cars at the end and the way we put them together, we can make a differentiation that customer level makes a big difference. And I think you'll see that on the Born as well. When you say the Born looks great, I would agree in terms of design, a fantastic looking car. But the thing that has taken, why you say why we launch it now, why didn't we launch it earlier? Because we've obviously been working, when we took the decision we are launching this car as a Cupra Born. It was a very conscious decision to position this car as a Cupra Born and not do the Seat Born. Then it had to be a Cupra. So obviously we've been having to work on the suspension, we've been working on the whole driving experience of the car. And I've been involved personally there on the test drives, and not only the design and the interior design that needs to be clearly Cupra, but also the way the car drives and feels. And I think you'll share that with me, that when I hope your enthusiasm that you have for the Born in terms of design and aesthetic is also shared when you've driven the car as well, that we've made a difference there. So that's taken time to get ready. But also it's taking time to get the market ready. I said before, Spain, 5% electric share last year. I mean, you're not going to launch a big new product into a segment that doesn't exist yet. So the Born's arriving at exactly the right time. And I think with the plug-in hybrid lineup we have and the Born being there this time, is the right time to be in the market. The electric market is starting to take off now. Across Europe, everywhere is the fastest growing segment together with the plug-in hybrid, and will continue that way for the foreseeable future, sure. I think. So, no, I don't think we're too late. Would have we preferred to have been earlier? Yes, I would if we'd have got the car, but I think good things are worth waiting for. So I hope that at the end, the time period afterwards, and obviously within the Volkswagen Group, we make conscious decisions which brand launches which technology first. And obviously Volkswagen is the lead brand in the Volkswagen Group with the lead technology, we're the first ones to go, but we're only a year later, and I think the difference we've been able to make in that year you will be able to experience.
Okay, now let's go in Macedonia to our colleague Miško. Miško?
Thank you for having us there. So the image of Seat is very high, especially in eastern parts of Europe, as a sporty brand and innovative brand. Which are your forecasts to distribute your new products and your new brand on those markets?
We have.
Are they in second row, because many of those of your new models are not quite available for such markets?
I think we have room for improvement in East Europe. We have some markets that whether Poland or Hungary or some of the markets I know that we have a reasonable presence, but I think we have in a lot of other East European markets the opportunity to grow. So I have a team of people looking at that, but on both brands. So I think with Seat, we've still a lot of room to grow, because we probably have a market share in East Europe far below 2%. And if we get to 4% in Germany, or 8% in Spain, or 7% in Austria, then there's a lot of growth potential still left for Seat in East Europe. And I think the car is a desirable car for for the young generation of East Europeans as well in the East European markets. And then Cupra coming on top, performance and design, that could work as well. So East Europe will be one of the regions we'll be focusing on growing both brands in the future.
So Wayne, thank you very much, my dear colleagues. Wayne, the big boss of Seat and Cupra, will be this year in different occasions. Probably we will meet him again, I guess, in the Munich IAA. We will be all there, so maybe we have a chance, thanks to Fernando and Cecilia, to meet him. And definitely I can confirm, I'm allowed to confirm, we will meet Wayne during the Barcelona AUTOBEST Gala, which, don't forget, is September 30, here in Barcelona. And
live, not digital.
It will be live. Yes, you're right. We will be all of us, plus other many guests, which I don't want to talk now because it's too early. But definitely, it will be our 20th anniversary as probably the best event we ever had in our history. Wayne, thank you very much for this opportunity. I am personally excited, but what I saw, it's great. Thank you for the technical team who, ensured this unique Zoom session. And of course, once again, I thank to Fernando and Cecilia who made this possible. Thank you for your time.
And great that we could have it here in Barcelona. I know I changed my mind overnight and said I want to meet you in Casa Seat.
But it was great to have this fantastic city, and the weather was great. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan.
For all of you, have a great day, and
bye everybody.
See you soon. Bye bye.